All right, let's play a dangerous little game tonight. What if the Alexander the Great you've heard about, the man who supposedly conquered the known world, never really existed the way history tells us? Think about it. We're told he was just 19 when he set off, and within a decade he controlled an empire stretching from Greece to Egypt to India. No internet, no radios, no jet planes. Yet somehow, he's racing armies across deserts and mountains like he's got Google Maps and a supply chain from Amazon. That's not just impressive, it's almost unbelievable. And here's where things start to wobble. Almost everything we know about Alexander wasn't written by his companions. It wasn't written in his lifetime. It came centuries later, penned by Roman and Greek authors who never saw him, never met him, and who, let's be honest, had reasons to glorify him. Legends travel faster than facts. So let me plant a wild seed. What if Alexander wasn't the unstoppable conqueror we picture in our textbooks? What if he died early, maybe at 19, and his story was hijacked? Imagine this: powerful generals, men who actually fought those campaigns, needed a banner, a legend, a face to rally their armies. They couldn't put themselves forward, it wouldn't carry the same weight. But a fallen young king, a figure larger than life, that could work. So they stitched together a myth, claimed his victories as his own, and history swallowed it whole. Sounds far-fetched? Maybe. But let's keep digging. Why don't we know where his body is? This was supposedly the greatest conqueror in human history, yet his tomb is missing, vanished. No clear grave for the man who bent nations to his will. Compare that to the Egyptian pharaohs who made sure their tombs shouted their names from the desert. But Alexander? Silence. Doesn't that smell like a cover-up? And here's another twist. His legends are suspiciously perfect. He tames a wild horse as a boy. He never loses a battle. He's a student of Aristotle, a warrior, a philosopher, a king. It's almost too neat, like a story written to inspire, not to record. Every flaw is polished away, every deed amplified, until it feels like we're reading myth, not biography. Now, here's where it gets even stranger. Some scholars argue the stories of Alexander resemble earlier myths: Hercules, Achilles, even Persian hero kings. The pattern repeats: young, divine-blooded conqueror, unbeatable, dead too soon. Maybe Alexander was real, yes, but the legend we celebrate today is a collage of borrowed myths glued together by propaganda. So I'll leave you with this thought. Maybe Alexander the Great wasn't a single man at all, but a mask worn by others, a symbol, not a soldier, a myth built to legitimize power and empire. And once you start asking that question, once you wonder if Alexander was fake, suddenly you realize history might not be a book of facts. It might be a story, carefully written to keep us believing. So, was Alexander the Great a man, or the greatest historical illusion ever staged? That answer might be lost forever.